we are going to do a trigger warning on this. Self-harm, possible self-harm, and death. So my son, 15, accidentally shot himself. We think / hope. December 2024. He suffered brain trauma that we were told was not survivable. My ex-wife, his mom, was hoping for a miracle, so she had kept him clinically alive with drugs and a ventilator. We alternated nights staying with him for a week. My first night staying alone with him in the ICU, I had the following experience. I had called my current wife and we decided to let our daughter, 8, his half-sister, say she loved him to him. My wife did the same, and I let her go for the night. I tried to settle in for the night, but I got an overwhelming urge to talk to my son. I poured my heart out and felt at peace, finally able to sleep. The next day, I felt he was gone. I called my wife and told her about it. We live in the deep south in the woods, old territory with Civil War history and already paranormally charged. She said that around the same time I had that exchange, she heard what she called, quote, Native American drums and chants from outside. To my knowledge, the property wasn't native, but we are relatively close to old native territory, about an hour drive. My son was finally taken off the vent and declared deceased December 7th, 2024 at 6:30. Ever since, we've had small things happen that we think may be him. Full disclosure, we think there was something in my parents' house that had something to do with it. We subsequently cleanse the house and routinely sage, purging negative and inviting loved ones in. Since then, things we still have of his have moved. I've heard him. Sometimes we hear footsteps on the stairs in the same pattern he had stomping up the stairs and oversized boots that he loved. He loved animals, and our cat routinely stares over our shoulders when she's with us, staring at a blank wall. Is that cat possibly crazy? Aren't they all? Could the noise on the stairs be settling or wood expanding and contracting? I know that sound. And I admit it could explain some of the noise, but not the sound of the loose boot stomping on the stairs. We like to think that he's still with us in some way. We haven't had any of the darker energy since, so maybe he is and is protecting us from what messed with him. I'm currently in therapy to deal with the loss. It took a huge toll. I have bad days, but it's going to be like that. Not much to do but carry on. Thanks for reading, and I'll answer what I can if you have questions. That's so sad, and it's really sad that they'll never know if he actually accidentally did that to himself. I can't even imagine going through something like that. Someone commented, take care of yourself. You're in a state of trauma right now, and that's going to be affecting you for many, many years. You don't want him to be worrying for you. You want him to be able to move on. He's trying to tell you he's okay. He'll leave after he knows you are too. Obi said, I had my wife and coworkers all push me to go to therapy. It's been a huge help. And then that person said, that's awesome. Please remember to eat and stay hydrated. I know that sounds generic, but my mom kept forgetting after my brother was killed. And Opie said, I had issues with it while he was in the hospital and for a little bit after the funeral. I'm doing a lot better now. Thanks. And then someone also commented, sorry for your loss. First of all, that must have been hard. I'm from a place where supernatural beings are facts. You did not invite loved ones in. You invited bad ones. Good ones don't interact with humans to begin with. However, the bad ones are the ones that do so. A person that dies doesn't return. What returns is another entity pretending to be him. The chanting you heard are possibly them mourning his passing. Happened here too, but that's about it. Do not do any spiritual rituals to communicate with the dead or inviting them in. You do not want them close. I don't want to go into details, but please try your best to avoid them. OP said, yeah, we have a strict rule not to contact. There are too many horror movies showing why that's a bad idea. But didn't they say they did like some energy thing where they were trying to like draw in loved ones? So, I don't know. I mean, I feel like that could be true. I wonder where she is from also. I was also listening to this person talk about their experience in Peru, which I need to learn a little bit more about because I don't like 100% know everything. But apparently she went to Peru and there's a group, please correct me if I'm wrong. There's a group of people called the Inca people, and they are native South American civilization that ruled a vast empire centered in what is now Peru from the early 1400s to the mid 1500s. And apparently, there's like this girl, okay, that was struck by lightning or something, and then she became like a healer. I'm sure a lot of you know and are a lot more educated about this subject. But of course, I can't find it now.
If you want extra content weekly, head over to patreon.com/storytimesociety and become a member on there for extra content. Love you.
Love you guys. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.